Once upon a time, a tale unfolded, weaving the destiny of a brave samurai named Manji. Bound by a sacred bond, he was intertwined with his younger sister, Mashi, who bore a burden heavier than the world itself. Mashi, tormented by a gentle madness, had been scared by a haunting tragedy, the brutal demise of her beloved husband. Tragically, her spouse met his untimely end at the hand of her very own brother Manji. In days gone by, Manji served as a valiant officer, enforcing justice with unwavering resolve. Amidst the tranquil whispers of the river, he embarked on an earnest quest, collecting snails that danced on the water's surface. It was then that an uninvited presence emerged, a wise old grandmother, bearing the weight of forgotten truths. She ventured forth, unveiling Manji's past, a past smeared with the crimson ink of countless lives, including the life of Mashi's dear departed husband, who stood as Manji's own kin. The weight of remorse consumed Manji's soul, casting a shadow across his every step. The darkness whispered to him, urging him towards an honorable end through seppuku, a solemn ritual of self-sacrifice. However, amidst the tempest of his anguish, a flicker of determination ignited within his heart. Manji, forsaking his own salvation, resolved to dedicate his existence to shielding Machi from the unforgiving winds of fate. In the depths of their heartfelt conversation, Mashi, like a fleeting dream, vanished into thin air. Manji, gripped by panic, halted their exchange and embarked on an urgent search for his lost sister. To his dismay, he discovered that Mashi had been ensnared by a ruthless gang, hungry for Manji's very life. Manji pleaded with them, his voice laced with desperation, but the gang's leader reveled in deceit, ultimately subjecting Machi to a merciless demise, her life extinguished before Manji's anguished eyes. Consumed by an inferno of wrath, Manji unleashed his fury upon the gang, engaging in a relentless battle against countless foes. The confrontation exacted a harrowing toll on his body, leaving him maimed and grievously wounded. With every ounce of strength drained from his veins, Manji, teetering on the precipice of death, drew near to Mashi's lifeless form, yearning to reunite with her in the realm beyond. Yet, in a twist of fate, the grandmother reappeared, revealing herself as Yabukuni. She possessed an otherworldly power, one that defied mortality. Despite Manji's plea for release from his torment, Yabukuni, defying his request, infused him with a mystical bloodworm. In an instant, his wounds miraculously mended, his severed hand made whole, rendering him immortal, forever barred from the embrace of death. Half a century later, within the hallowed halls of a martial arts dojo belonging to a revered master named Asano, an ominous presence materialized. It was the Itto-ryu, a formidable band of warriors led by the indomitable Anatsu Kagisa. Their mission, to conquer dojos far and wide, leaving no corner of the land untouched. In a brutal onslaught, Asano's cherished students met their untimely demise, their lives snuffed out mercilessly. An ultimatum hung heavy in the air: join their ranks or face the annihilation of his entire lineage. Fueled by anguish and burning fury, Asano lunged at Kagisa, desperate to avenge his fallen disciples. But his assault was swiftly thwarted, and the tables turned with a vicious retaliation from Kagisa himself. In a cruel twist of fate, Asano met his tragic end, the light within him extinguished. His daughter, Rin, bore witness to this horrifying ordeal, snatched away by the clutches of Kagisa's men. Yet, amidst the savagery, a surprising mercy emerged, a command from Kagisa, forbidding his men from defiling Rin, recognizing her tender youth. Fueled by an unwavering determination to avenge her parents, Rin delved deeper into the art of combat, honing her skills with every practiced move. It was during one such session that Yabukuni, a mysterious figure, materialized before her. With an offer as enticing as it was perilous, Yabukuni unveiled the existence of an immortal samurai, a guardian who could aid Rin in her quest and bring down the tyrannical Itto-ryu group. Driven by an unyielding resolve, Rin embarked on a relentless search for this legendary warrior, only to discover that the very samurai she sought was none other than Manji himself. At first, Manji rebuffed Rin's plea, his desire to avoid shedding blood weighing heavily upon him. Yet, as fate would have it, the tendrils of compassion found their way into his heart. Rin, bereft and bearing an uncanny resemblance to Manji's long-lost sister, Mashi, stirred a dormant empathy within him. The passage of time led Rin on a treacherous path, ultimately bringing her face to face with Kuroi Sabato, a remorseless member of the Itto-ryu. This vile individual, responsible for the torment inflicted upon Rin's mother, presented her with a chilling memento, a lock of her mother's hair, and callously exhibited her decapitated head. Teetering on the precipice of becoming Sabato's latest macabre collection, Rin's life hung in the balance. However, a stroke of fortune intervened as Manji emerged, ready to confront Sabato in a battle that would determine Rin's fate. Although Sabato managed to gravely wound Manji, the immortal warrior's regenerative abilities granted him a second chance, effortlessly dispatching Sabato with a swift strike. Meanwhile, within the walls of Keihisa's stronghold, a clandestine conversation took place between the Itto-ryu leader and Hibaki, a representative of the government. Hibaki proposed an audacious plan, an invitation for the Itto-ryu to establish a new martial arts school, with Keihisa as its esteemed head, due to his unparalleled mastery. However, news of Sabato's demise cast a shadow of bewilderment upon Keihisa's countenance, for Sabato had been one of his most formidable assassins, making his defeat a perplexing mystery. Within the dimly lit confines of a tavern, Rin diligently honed the edges of Manji's lethal arsenal of knives and daggers. Amidst the murmurs and clinks of glasses, a figure emerged, wielding a sword that once belonged to Rin's father. It was none other than Taito Magatsu, dispatched by Keihisa to confront Sabato's lethal assassin. Sensing the imminent danger, Manji sprang into action, urgently seeking out Magatsu for a confrontation that could not be delayed. In a clash fraught with intensity, Manji and Magatsu engaged in a relentless battle. Despite the arduous trials they faced, Manji emerged triumphant, leaving Magatsu grievously wounded. Through their exchanges, Rin gradually unraveled a poignant truth. Manji's habit of inadvertently addressing her as Machi stemmed from her resemblance to his beloved younger sister, who had tragically perished. Yet Manji, guarded by a wall of silence, refused to divulge the depths of his sorrow. Within the depths of the Itto-ryu stronghold, Magatsu received crucial medical care while reporting to Keihisa that Rin, the daughter of Asano, had enlisted a fearsome warrior to track them down. The news reverberated through the air, igniting Keihisa's awareness of the growing threat. Meanwhile, in a humble coffee shop, Manji tended to his brewing pots with steady hands. Unbeknownst to him, a deceptive figure lurked in the shadows. Ikkyu Shizuma, a member of the Itto-ryu, disguised himself as a monk and approached Manji. With a tempting proposal, Shizuma urged Manji to join forces, envisioning a united front against Keihisa. Yet Manji's intuition sensed the treachery that lingered beneath Shizuma's facade, compelling him to reject the offer. In a swift turn of events, Shizuma unsheathed his sword, and a fierce duel ensued, a clash of steel and unyielding wills. Amidst the fervor of their duel, a startling revelation unfolded. Shizuma, too, possessed the gift of immortality, having roamed this earth far longer than Manji himself. Cunningly, Shizuma coated his blade with incense water, cunningly weakening the bloodworms that coursed through Manji's veins, impairing his regenerative prowess. Faced with the prospect of his own demise, a tantalizing temptation whispered within Manji's thoughts, a chance to finally shed the eternal shackles of his immortality. Yet fueled by an unwavering commitment to protect Rin, Manji steeled his resolve, driven to overcome Shizuma and claim victory. In a separate realm, Hibaki relayed to Keihisa the pressing need to venture to Mount Takao, where their crucial alliance awaited its finalization. However, fate intervened once more as news of Shizuma's demise reached Keihisa's ears. Determined to safeguard his position, Keihisa sought aid in an unexpected place, a humble shop where a young woman named Meiki once served under his employ. A few days passed, and amidst the bustling market, Manji and Rin unexpectedly encountered Meiki. Led to a secluded alley, a confrontation unfolded, unraveling a tangled web of emotions. Rin, believing in a bond that had blossomed, found herself pitted against Meiki, caught in a fierce clash of blades. Despite gaining the upper hand, Meiki hesitated, torn between her desire to forsake bloodshed and the debt she owed to Kitahisa. In a fateful act, she severed one of Manji's hands but spared his life, harboring her own dreams of opening a shop. In a moment that seemed to defy fate, Rin emerged, fiercely protecting Manji. Touched by this selfless act, Meiki relented, sparing their lives and entrusting Rin's care to Manji. Though Manji's regenerative abilities faltered, his wounds still mended over time. He scolded Rin for her actions, reminding her of the stakes at hand, for should she fall, their entire endeavor would be in vain. Laden with injuries, Manji, unable to join Rin in her practice that day, embarked on a solemn pilgrimage to Mashi's grave, whispering his belief that he would soon reunite with his departed sister. Amidst her solitary walk, Rin unexpectedly crossed paths with Kitahisa. Puzzled by his apparent lack of enmity, she voiced her confusion. In response, Kitahisa unraveled the intricate tapestry of events leading to her father's demise. He revealed that the act was a retribution for his own grandfather, who had been ousted from Rin's grandfather's dojo due to his unorthodox use of an axe, a weapon deemed foreign and incongruous with the dojo's fighting style. Absorbing this revelation, Rin retreated home, her thoughts held captive by a somber silence. The following day, Rin and Manji chanced upon a merciless slaughter, the perpetrator none other than Shira from the rival warrior faction known as Mugai-Ryu. Impressed by their shared goal of eradicating the Itto-ryu, Shira guided them to the refuge of Mugai-Ryu, where they encountered kindred spirits. United by a common purpose, they extended an offer to Rin and Manji, an invitation to join Mugai-Ryu's ranks in their quest to dismantle the Itto-ryu. Armed with intelligence from their informants, they learned that Kitahisa planned to journey to Mount Takao. Fueled by determination, Manji, Rin, and Shira devised a plan to intercept him along his route. As they reached their intended destination, a silhouette resembling Kitahisa materialized before them, shrouded in an air of mystery. Anticipating danger, Shira readied himself to strike. With a swift blow, Shira's attack connected, only to reveal that the figure was a woman hired by the cunning Itto-ryu. Simultaneously, a lurking presence emerged from behind the trees, an ambush cunningly laid. Manji and Shira valiantly clashed with the members of Itto-ryu, their swords slicing through the chaos until the final defeat of their adversaries. However, in the aftermath, a troubling darkness threatened to consume Shira's soul. The defenseless woman lay vulnerable before him, and he prepared to unleash his cruelty. In that critical moment, Rin stepped forward, shielding the woman from harm. Enraged by Rin's defiance, Shira unleashed his fury upon her, delivering a brutal blow. Yet, just as he was poised to commit further atrocities, Manji intervened, severing one of Shira's hands, forcing him to retreat, his malicious intentions thwarted. Within the confines of their sanctuary, Manji tended to Rin's wounds, his touch gentle yet carrying the weight of a troubled past. In a poignant moment, he bared his soul, recounting the story of his life, a life tainted by the merciless orders of his superiors. Those he was tasked to eliminate turned out to be individuals who had discovered his superiors' corruption. Consumed by anger, Manji betrayed and dispatched his boss and the accompanying bodyguards, unknowingly claiming the life of Mashi's husband, an act that shattered her fragile psyche. With a heavy warning, Manji cautioned Rin that should she continue endangering herself for his sake, he would cease his services. Feeling burdensome to him, Rin resolved to embark on her own path of revenge, planning to slip away the following day while Manji attended to his affairs at the tavern. At the tavern, Manji received an unexpected visit from fellow members of Mugai-Ryu, seeking information about Shira's whereabouts. However, the fire that once fueled Manji's determination had dimmed, and he no longer harbored interest in working alongside them. Sensing Rin's absence, a surge of urgency coursed through his veins, compelling him to abandon his current company and embark on a relentless quest to find her. In a pivotal moment, Kitahisa reached the summit of Mount Takao, eager to finalize the agreement for their esteemed new dojo. However, his expectations were shattered as he discovered that the deal had been abruptly cancelled. Disheartened, he returned home to a scene of jubilation among his comrades, unaware of the treachery that had unfolded behind his back. Unbeknownst to Kitahisa, Habaki, once a trusted ally, had betrayed the Itto-ryu faction. He cunningly dispatched a legion of government warriors to capture Kagehisa and eradicate the entire Itto-ryu group. Amidst the chaos, Kagehisa fought valiantly, his focus consumed by the overwhelming onslaught of foes. Ignoring Rin's presence, he pressed forward, battling against an army of adversaries. Left with no other choice, Rin clung to the fringes of Kagehisa's path, a desperate attempt to escape the clutches of impending danger. Kagehisa and Rin found themselves amidst a fortified compound, teeming with troops under the command of Habaki. Filled with righteous anger, Rin's voice reverberated through the air, demanding a fair battle, a one-on-one confrontation. Yet Habaki, unfazed by her plea, commanded his men to eliminate Rin. Just as danger closed in, Manji appeared, swiftly dispatching Rin's assailants. He was bewildered by Rin's actions, perplexed as to why she hadn't sought vengeance for Kagehisa, seemingly choosing to protect him instead. Rin made it clear that her safety was now Manji's utmost priority, tasking him with defeating anyone who dared to harm her. A fierce clash erupted, entangling Manji, Rin, Kagehisa, and Habaki in a battle that echoed with the clash of swords. Manji, his body ravaged by countless wounds, fought with unwavering resolve, while Kagehisa displayed masterful skill. Amidst the chaos, Shira emerged, driven by a vengeful desire to avenge his severed hand at the hands of Manji. Seizing the opportunity, Manji pursued Shira, cunningly outwitting him by offering weapons and money, concealing a hidden knife. Freeing Rin from her confines, Manji swiftly struck, catching Shira off guard, sending him plummeting over the precipice's edge, his fate sealed by his own treachery. In the midst of the tumultuous battle, Meiki arrived at the scene, driven by a desire to aid Kagehisa. Sensing danger, she detected the acrid scent of gunpowder and caught sight of a squad armed with firearms. Acting swiftly, Meiki positioned herself as a shield, braving the hail of bullets to protect Kagehisa, sacrificing herself in the process. Despite the loss, Kagehisa valiantly pressed on, engaging in a relentless struggle until only Habaki remained. Weakened and grievously wounded, Kagehisa summoned his last reserves of strength, launching a final assault that led to Habaki's demise. Grateful for the support provided by Manji and Rin in their fight against Habaki's forces, Kagehisa expressed his heartfelt appreciation. With Habaki defeated, the time had come for Manji and Kagehisa to face each other in a climactic showdown, a duel destined to settle the score and grant true vengeance for Rin's parents. Engaged in a fierce clash, their swords clashed with unyielding force. Ultimately, Manji emerged as the victor, ready to deliver the final, fatal blow to Kagehisa. However, Rin hesitated, providing an opening for Kagehisa to launch a counterattack. In a moment of selflessness, Manji positioned himself to protect Rin from the slashing strike. Witnessing the danger faced by Manji, Rin swiftly seized her chance, driving her blade into Kagehisa's chest, killing him. Tears streamed down Rin's face as she believed Manji was on the brink of death. Her sobs echoed through the air, filled with anguish and disappointment, for Manji appeared to have broken his promise to persevere. However, amidst the depths of his injuries, a glimmer of resilience flickered within Manji's being, defying the grasp of mortality, refusing to succumb to the darkness that beckoned. Moral lesson from the story teaches us that redemption is possible, even after committing grave mistakes. By showing empathy, putting others before ourselves, and making sacrifices, we can seek forgiveness, find inner peace, and contribute to a more compassionate world.